Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, confident ladies. How are you? Look who we have today. We have a special guest with us. Can you say hello? Can you say hi to the confident ladies? This is baby girl. This is baby girl. Yes, and guess what, guys? I have a fun announcement. This is really not, well, I guess it is business related. Yes. So we have a surprise, right? We're going to tell the confident ladies what you've been doing. Baby girl has started to take solid foods over the last week and a half, and she has decided after much persistence over the almost 5 months of her life to take a bottle. And actually, this bottle was recommended by one of the women in the Confident Ladies Club, so thank you so much for recommending it. This is the one that sort of did the trick, right? I'm going to just feed her while we are on the call. I'm not sure. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, you going to take it? Look at that. She's taking a bottle. Can you believe it? Ah, it's amazing. All right, so hi, Christine. Good morning. How are you? Yay, Christine and I recently reconnected in a group program that we're doing together. You taking your bottle? So let me make sure this is streaming in the Confident Ladies Club. Hold on a second, Peanut. Okay, let's see. And then okay, awesome. It's streaming. So, it looks like Danielle's here too. Good morning, Danielle. Great to see you. And Sue is here. If you're here, say hello. Tell me how things are going. So this morning, I think she's a little distracted right now and she wants to play, so she's not completely taking her bottle. Of course, right? The moment I announce it. There you go. Take your bottle. You just want to play. She just wants to play. All right. You just want to be a part of the club. So this morning, actually this whole week, I am participating in the Imperfect Box campaign. And this is a really incredible movement run by one of the women in the Confident Ladies Club, who is also a guest expert in my inner circle business incubator. Her name is Ashley Bowden. And Ashley she started this movement, I think it was about a year ago now. This is her third time running it. And basically what it is she's getting all of these women bosses together to talk and to share some type of confession, right? So when we're in the online space, when we're in any type of business space, we see one side of everything, right? And this actually ties in really well with our topic today of the take it or leave it mindset. So we go onto social media and we see all of these business owners with like beautiful social media pages, things that are perfectly placed desks and perfect homes and this and that. And we see one side of everything, right? We don't see the struggle. We don't see what's going on in the background. And it's funny because like one of the main confessions that a lot of people gave the first round was like not showering, right? Like not waking up and showering first thing in the morning. Or some people confess that like they haven't washed their hair in a week or something. And yeah, these are like real things that entrepreneurs sort of deal with, right? Like we're not perfect, and it's so easy when you're coming from the social media lens to make everything look perfect and pretty, and even with the filters, right? Right now I don't have a filter on, but I usually put some type of filter on when I'm on Instagram. But anyways, so it's really not about sharing sort of like the shallow and like smaller confessions like not showering or not brushing your teeth, or it's really about sharing those sort of deep confessions that we don't really see, and we don't see those struggles that other entrepreneurs are going through. And last fall, last winter when she ran this again, I shared that my struggle was when I became pregnant, I was actually really scared to tell my clients and to tell my followers that I was having a baby, because I felt like people think I'm pregnant, like I may have baby brain, I may forget things, they may just assume that I don't want my business anymore, or I'm not going to be on top of things anymore. And those were really true limiting beliefs that I was struggling with. And I didn't really share with people that I was pregnant until I think I was like, it was like when we found out the gender, when we found out we were having a baby girl. I think that was like month 4.5 or so. It took a really long time for me to share. But after I did, I felt amazing, right? Because those were all limiting beliefs. Those were just thoughts in my mind that I was believing that other people were going to think about me. But in reality, they weren't true at all. That's all that they were just lies that my mind was telling me. So this time, I want you guys to go onto Instagram or check out on my Facebook business page. I put my confession today, my most recent confession, which is back from July 4th when I almost quit my business. So I know a lot of people like say this at times, like, oh, I almost quit my business when this or that happened. And you know, sometimes it's more of like a marketing thing just to get you to read something. But I'm telling you guys, like, this is legit. I seriously almost quit my business July 4th. And oh, baby girl, it wasn't because I didn't love my business, right? I'm obsessed with my business, okay? And that's more of like why I almost quit, because I was so frustrated. Hi, yes, because I love this little nugget so much, but she needs a lot of attention, as you can see. And I didn't have help here all the time with me, so it was really hard to try to balance both. And like today, you know, I don't have help here this morning, so I have her on here with us. But as you guys can see, she likes a lot of attention, right? Because she likes to play. Yeah, and she's as happy as can be when she's bounced and when she's loved and given lots of attention. So it was this huge struggle constantly, the struggle of like wanting to be with my baby girl, wanting to spend every second with her, but also really missing my business, because when I birthed her, I birthed all of these new ideas and just like this whole new mindset of how I'm running my business. Oh, she is a strong girl. Man, she's pulling my skin. Baby girl. So I was like ready to go. And here's the thing, like people say as new moms, like you're going to be exhausted. And my problem was, yeah, I was a little tired, but I had all of these new energies and mindsets, and I was ready to take on the world after I had the baby. And I had all of these new things. She's like, yeah, Mom, yeah, we're going to take on the world together. I had all of these new things that I wanted to do and I wanted to accomplish, and it was so frustrating that I couldn't do both. And I sometimes can be an all or nothing person, okay? I will be honest. Ooh, that hurts. It's gonna look like I have hickeys all over my neck because she pinches me. Let's see. Marva says she's so precious. Oh, and Danielle said I saw the post. It was great. Petra says, thank you for sharing. I'm having a baby girl in December and I'm feeling like my business is going to flop. It's not going to flop, okay? Listen, you can, here's the thing, you can do it all, but it's gonna be a little bit different, okay? It's not going to be the same way it was before, but it's going to be beautiful and it's going to be better, okay? It's going to be better. Like, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be hard. I'm actually going to stand up, guys, here, so I can just sort of bounce her a little. But this will keep her a little calmer. She's just excited. She's like, Mom, preach it. Preach it, right? Inspire people. Tell them it's possible. Yeah, so, yeah, it's possible. You can do it all, but it's just going to be a different all, okay? So before I was running my business last summer, let's say like 70 hours a week, okay? Because I was so into it. I was so excited about it, doing all of these great things, creating all these great things, and then became pregnant and couldn't do it anymore, okay? Because I was exhausted. I was really tired. But then having that excitement of having the baby, I had like all of this energy come back and I wanted to dive in at full speed again, 70 hours a week. And it can't happen, all right? Like there's no way it can happen. Christina says, I read your post too. I love how honest and real you are. I love Miss Annabelle. Oh my goodness, Christina, I want you to meet her. Oh my goodness. Vanessa is such a good auntie to her. Christina and I have a very, very close friend who we share in common. Sue, yay, Sue's here. And Danielle says, no filter for screaming yet, right? There's no baby filter. There should be a baby filter. Better this way, what a cutie. She's adorable. I'm so thankful for you and people like you who share the journey with. Yeah, Petra, you can do it, okay? You can do it. It's just going to be different, that's all. And you have to just learn that every day is going to change, okay? So once you figure something out, like we got the baby on, so I'm the kind of person, like I'm very like intuitive, and I didn't want to read any baby books, which is a little bit maybe crazy. I didn't read any books when I was pregnant either. I wanted to just sort of feel out my body and do what my body told me to do. So even with having the baby, like I knew if I read all the books, I would freak myself out, right? I would think about all the terrible things that could happen. And like, I knew like common sense, like the things not to do, right? Like don't eat don't eat fish, or don't eat things with mercury or deli meat, or don't drink alcohol. Like I knew all that stuff. But all of those other things that people try to scare you with, like I just did not want it in my mind. And the same thing when having the baby too. And it's crazy how your body, like as a mother, you just know, like it's so instinctual, like how to keep a human being alive. But things would constantly change. So at one point, she was like, again, not sleeping, hungry all the time, feeding, I'm breastfeeding, and I'm actually now supplementing with formula a little bit, because since she's taking a bottle, we've realized that she's actually just really hungry. Can you try a little bit? She's actually just really hungry. It's not warm enough for her now. It got to cool down. Let's see. Thank you, Gail. Hi, Gail. How are you? And Petra says, I'm kind of like that too. Yes. Don't read, okay? Whatever you do, don't read. I'm actually going to stick her on the boob, guys, because she's a little hungry again. We just fed solids too. Yes, you just ate. So you guys get the full experience this morning of what it's like with the baby girl with you at work all the time. So anyways, we at one point decided, somebody recommended, because they heard like she wasn't sleeping, she was eating on the hour, you know, just really fussy all the time. So somebody gave us this baby book, and it was by Gina Ford, and it was a very good book, and it taught you like how to put your baby on a schedule. And you know what? It worked for a little bit. I was completely losing my mind because it was literally a full, like, this book, like, it's great. Like, yeah, your baby can get on a schedule, but it's a full-time job to do what this book tells you to do. It's like breastfeed your baby and pump at the same time while you're doing this and that. And it's just like, and drink a glass of water while you're breastfeeding and pumping at the same time, and then have a nutritious meal after. Like, it's just, yes, Gina Ford. It's I think it's the Happy Contented Baby. It's something like along those lines. But if you are a scheduled routine type person, it's a very good book. It did work for a little bit with her, but after a while, babies have a mind of their own, and she just wanted to do her own thing, and she just completely came off the schedule. So things are going to constantly change, right? And you just have to learn to just go with the flow. The one thing I will say is, if you are a new mom, like, and you, let's just say you decide that you're going to have someone, you're going to send your baby to daycare, or you're going to have someone come in the home a couple weeks, like, do what feels good for you, because other people around you are going to try to help, right? Because they're going to want to, like family members, and they may say like, oh, because this is what happened to me. Don't do that. Like, there's no need to hire someone for that many days of the week. Like, we'll pick up time for you. And it was so gracious and so kind and giving of them. But I think that sometimes people overcommit themselves, right? Because we all do this at times, and they don't realize how busy their lives really are. And that's what happened to me. So unfortunately, well, I had a nanny who was going to be here 3 days a week, and then family, you know, wanted to help, wanted to commit, and said, no, just have her one day. So she went and she got other work. She found another family to work with. So I only had her here 1 day a week. And then what happened was, you know, things would come up, life would happen, and family couldn't be here those other days. Like, or maybe they'd come by for an hour or 2 hours, and it just wasn't consistent. And I like was kicking myself because I wish that I had just stuck to my guns and just, kept that schedule that I had wanted from the beginning, rather than giving into other people. And it came from like a pure loving place that they wanted to help, but it actually just caused so much extra stress and anxiety for me because I was constantly trying to work my business and work my schedule around everyone else's schedule. Okay. So, there was nothing consistent. It was like an hour here and there, and you can't run a business like that. Like, it's just, there's not, you just can't. So try to find some type of schedule for yourself, something consistent, so that you're not just like running your life on other people's time and other people's schedules. So I am going to announce, and here's the thing, as a mom, you will say like, I'll never do that, okay? Like, I'm never gonna let that happen, or I don't want that to happen, I'm not gonna do it. And you will not judge other people who do those things with their kids, but for yourself, you have these like really high expectations. So I said like, I will never give my baby formula. Like, I'm just gonna breastfeed her and that's it. Like, it's working, she's eating, and that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna give her formula. And guess what? Since she's taken the bottle, she's just become hungrier and hungrier. And we realized that I'm just not producing enough milk. And you know what? It's okay. I'm just giving her formula now, and she's loving it and she's taking it. And she's so much happier over the last half a week now. You know, she's been such a happy baby since she's had the formula because her belly is filled up. And then another thing I said, you know, I would say, yeah, it's really cool when, you know, moms decide to send the kids to daycare, but like, it's just not something that I'm going to do. It just doesn't feel good for me. But guess what, guys? Tomorrow she's starting daycare 2 days a week. And, you know, it was heartbreaking for me. And I think this was probably about a month ago. It was actually a Wednesday morning that I was supposed to come live to do the Facebook Live with you guys, and I had to cancel, and I said just something's going on with my family, something personal, and I just don't want to talk about it right now. And I don't feel just like happy, or, you know, like if I'm not feeling myself, if I'm not feeling like I'm strong enough to help other people, like I'm not going to help other people. That's the one thing that I've learned, is that you know, in this field and in the work that we do, we have to take care of ourselves first, because if we're not, sorry, I'm getting text messages. If you're not 100% mentally in your own life, like emotionally, like you're not going to be able to help other people, and it's not going to come from a good place. So that morning I was just not in a good place. I was crying. I was really upset, feeling disappointed because again, I had said to myself, I'm not going to send my babies to daycare. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to do it all, right? I'm going to be super mom. And I sort of came to the conclusion that morning, like, I can't do it. It's either that I'm going to, again, go back to where I was when I shared that confession of July 4th with just feeling like I needed to quit my business because I want to take care of my baby so badly. I want to be the best mom for her. And I don't want to feel like I'm pulled in all directions. But I decided that morning, I'm like, I think I'm just going to have to do it. I think in order to be the best mom for her, because ultimately, like, if I were to quit my business, right, I'm not going to be fulfilled. And I don't know if that sounds bad or if that makes me sound like a bad mom or whatever, but I don't think so, because for me to be the best mom possible, I have to have something else in my life besides just my babies, right? I have to be working towards some type of mission. And for me, that's helping, inspiring other women to make their dreams come true. And I want to be an inspiration to my baby, okay? And yes, for some people, and this could change for me someday, right? I could completely change my mind, and my mission could be to just stay home. And I shouldn't say just. My mission could be to stay home, to be a complete stay-at-home mom with my baby girl and with my future babies, and just pour into their lives. And that could be what my mission is, right? That could be what I really want in life. But right now, I don't feel like that's my true calling. I feel like my calling is to be a mom, to be an example for her, and to show her that you can do both. You can run a business, you can make an impact in the world, and you can be a mama. And, I don't want to feel like I'm constantly being pulled in both directions, right? Like I'm with her, spending time with her, but also working at the same time. So for me, what I realize is, you know what? I'm going to have to send her to daycare. It's going to be just 2 days a week for now. And those 2 days that she's away, like I am going to hammer into my business. I'm going to get as much work done as I can, do all my calls, do all my writing, so that when she is home with me, it's just me and her, and that's it, right? The computer's closed, the phone is off, and I don't have to feel that pull in both directions. So I'm going to show up much better as a mom, because number one, I'm going to be fulfilled, being able to work on my business and create an impact and still do the things that I love. And then also number two, when we're home together, it's just me and her, and it's just her mama, and that's it. And it's not me mama as a business owner, it's just me as her mama. So Sue says, that's very wise. Being well-rounded and balanced is a wonderful example to you and your baby girl. Thank you, Sue. Danielle says, yes, so tough when our lives can't reflect our original ideas and plans. So important to give yourself time and space to emotionally adapt. It takes such a strong and secure person to share all this. Thank you. I appreciate it. Trust me, it has been a struggle. Like, it has not been easy. Like, when they say that there's the mama guilt, man, that mama guilt is strong. Like, so strong. Lynn, hi, Lynn. Great to see you. Another future mama we got here. Lynn's having a baby. I think it's in November. I think you're having a baby in November, Lynn. So anyways, this is actually really cool that this Imperfect Box campaign, like all of this stuff, really ties in well with our weekly topic. So our weekly topic is October. Oh, even sooner, next month. How exciting. So our topic is a take it or leave it mindset. And this is something that this was not something that came to me right away. Like, it wasn't something that was like ingrained in me right away. It took a while to get to this place in my business. Let me just share the link with you guys for those of you who haven't read it yet. Let's see. Oops. Actually, I shared my client's blog instead, which you should read as well. I haven't read it yet. I had it up on my screen because I wanted to read it after this. Sarah Morandi Steves, she is a psychotherapist, and she also coaches individuals to start their own private practices. She's amazing, truly inspiring woman. She's actually creating a course right now for people who want to become therapists and open up their private practice, something that she's working on. This program that she's putting together is like, I can't even like explain how much is in there. Like, what she has poured into this course is just remarkable. Like, the worksheets, the modules, like everything. She's so thorough. Like, she's covered, like she sent it to me for edits, and I'm like, there's nothing for me to edit. Like, it's 100% there. Like, there's nothing else to add. It's amazing. So if any of you are looking to be a therapist and open a private practice, check out her blog, because I just posted her blog by accident, and follow her, because that will probably be coming out sometime this fall. But anyways, I just posted my blog post, the Take It or Leave It Mindset. This is something that I really adapted, I would say about a year ago, because I remember feeling like in my business, I needed to, I still had that sort of pressure of like, I think from coming, oh wait, hold on, let me read this first. Kate, you engage my lactation consultant brain. If you want to talk more about baby feeding, let me know. I'm happy to help. Totally judgment free. Oh, thank you, Natalie. Natalie's awesome. She's a lactation consultant. She's a nurse. She's a coach. She is a mama to boys. She's got tons and tons of experience, and she's just a breath of fresh air if you're looking for support. Natalie's awesome. She's in a coaching program that I'm a guest mentor in. So this take it or leave it mindset was not something that, again, came naturally to me. This was something that, I really had to, work hard at, because coming from the therapy background, you have to sort of put a wall up. You have to be really professional. Like, the stuff that I'm sharing on here is like stuff that would be completely off topic, like nothing that I would be able to share as a therapist. Like, you can't share personal, because it's not about you. It's about helping the other person figure out and navigate their life and create their own results and their own change. And again, it's not about you. And that's the difference between coaching and therapy, is that as a coach, you get to share your story. You get to inspire. People get to learn through your mistakes, through your journey. But as a therapist, it's not that way. So coming from the therapy world to the coaching world, I still sort of felt like I needed to put like a little bit of a wall up. Petra says, wow, my challenge is being a therapist for a decade. Oh, being a therapist for a decade, running a private practice. I had no idea you were a therapist. And also moving my work online. How do you keep the momentum to when the baby comes? Yeah, so the great thing with this, Petra, is that you being a therapist, so you still are a therapist and you're moving your work online. What you have to do is this is what I did, was I continue to run my therapy practice until I felt like I was in a really good place in my coaching business. However, I did, and I'm trying to think if I have any old videos I can send you of sort of my story of, because I won't get into the whole story now, but just of like how I transitioned over, because I knew how badly I wanted the coaching business to work. So I took a big pay cut, and I referred a lot of my therapy clients to other colleagues of mine, and decided to just open up space in my business and life so that I could really focus on my coaching practice. So I did take a big pay cut for a while. Yeah, Petra, definitely reach out to me, okay? And I'll try to find, if I can figure out where I have those videos or blog posts about my story. It's probably on like a bunch of the podcasts that I've done too. But yeah, that's totally fine. Go for it. And thank you, Lynn. I appreciate it. But yeah, so it's possible. And I say this to everyone, like, if you've already quit your job to start your business, like, that's okay, right? Like, everyone has a different journey. But personally, for myself, through my 9-to-5, like, I didn't quit my 9-to-5 until I matched my therapy practice salary. So when I was making the same amount of money in my therapy practice, then I quit my 9-to-5. And then pretty much the same thing with my therapy practice and coaching. I really wanted to make sure that I was making enough money in my coaching before I completely closed down my therapy. And I actually transitioned probably a handful of those therapy clients to coaching clients, which worked out great, because a lot of them were like in business, and our work together was also like was more coaching based than really therapy anyways. But again, this was the huge challenge, right? Going from therapist to the online space of being a coach, and in order to be a coach, you need to be open, you need to be transparent, you need to share your story. And it was not easy because I felt like, am I going to be unprofessional? Like, you know, how is this going to go? So I'm just going to move over to my blog post real quick. And I said here, since owning my own coaching business, I've always strived to be unapologetic in my work, showing up exactly as I am. And here's why. And yeah, it's so hard, Petra, especially when your toes are in both places. I think it's especially hard because you're wondering, like, my whole thought was like, are my therapy clients following my coaching business? Are they seeing me on social media? Like, is that weird? Is that affecting our relationship? And I'll tell you guys, actually, it did affect our relationship, but it made it even better because a lot of them, like, they didn't tell me that they were following me for the longest time, but sometimes I would see, like, you know, on like Instagram, like, I would see someone like my picture and I would see like it was their name and I'm like, oh, they're following me. And I would be sort of paranoid about that for a while. And I even used to be worried that people that I really looked up to in the therapy world would like look down on me for doing this. That I don't know why I would have these limiting beliefs, but this is actually a funny story. A professor from my undergrad who I adored, she just like completely shaped who I am today, like helped direct me when I was a little lost soul in undergrad, going through a lot of stuff. She was just the person who just like saw potential in me and really helped me believe in myself. And she's a clinical psychologist, like very much into research. And you know, I remember like her drilling boundaries, drilling ethics into us. And for some reason, I always thought like, if she knew I was coaching today, I wonder if she would like look down on me, if she would think any differently because I'm like doing something a little bit different and out of the field. And I don't know why I had that thought all the time. And I received 2 emails a week ago from 2 students at my undergrad who had said, Professor so-and-so gave me your information and told me what you're doing. And it's so inspiring. And one person like just wanted some advice on like next steps, like what to do after college. Like, should she go on to get her doctorate? Should she go on to get her MSW? And we had like such a nice conversation. And then the other person invited me to come to the school to speak at an event. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like it was such a good feeling to know that, I don't know how I got off topic with this, but just to know that like, you know, there's other people in the field, like they still like have respect that there's nothing wrong with changing where you're going in. And you know, this is the stuff that I help my clients with, right? Like, it's no big deal. You know, moving from a therapist to a coach, like just do it. Like, it's fine. Petra says, I literally faced with older issues of abandonment. Now it relates to my therapy practice and moving into coaching. So I definitely, and I feel like this is turning into a coaching session, but I definitely experienced that. I had this guilt of, I've spent all of this money into my master's. I went to Ivy League for my master's. So just imagine how much in student loans I have, how much debt I have. And I spent all of these years of investing into my license and getting my clinical hours and sitting for both exams and, you know, pouring all this time into it. And now I'm going into a field where I don't actually need a master's. I don't actually even need an undergrad degree or a license or anything. So am I wasting that past career? And this was like a struggle that I had early on for a while. This was about 2 years ago. But what I realized was, no, like if anything, this is preparing me even more to be a coach because I have that background. And you know what? I never would have stumbled on this coaching world if I hadn't have gone through my master's, if I hadn't have been a therapist and opened my practice and become a business owner. Like, I wouldn't even be in this place that I'm at right now if I hadn't done that. So this is just, all that was a stepping stone to bring me onto this journey. And what I do like to tell myself is that, like, I've kept up with my license. I haven't, at one point I had decided to maybe just let my license go, but I've decided to keep it because I tell myself that, you know, someday, like, I may be able to still use it for something really cool. You know, maybe I will get to like teach at a university but teach in a different type of perspective, right? Of like in the social work field and the therapy field, like in graduate school, like you don't learn how to run a business. And that's like part of, it's like another one of my dreams and something I thought a lot about this summer when I had her, like had the baby, that, you know, it'd be really cool to like partner up with a university and like help them create courses and curriculum to be able to support people who do want to be therapists and do want to be practitioners and have their own business, because you don't learn that in school. So how cool would that be to be able to prepare people to own their own business? So I just share with you guys like one of those big dreams of mine. So that's why I've kept up on my license, because yeah, that could be something that I'd be interested in doing someday. Like the sky is the limit when you can create your own business, right? Like you can do anything. And going back to this article, I talk about like, here's why. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. That's amazing. I love that. So here's why I show up exactly as I am. I give 4 different points. Number 1, it feels good. I get to be exactly who I am and not feel like I need to impress anyone. Number 2, it's aligned. It would feel icky to be anyone but me. Number 3, it's easy. I don't have to play 2 roles, like real life Kate and business Kate. I get to just be Kate. So, oh, very cool. So that's the fun thing, is like, in my business, I'm exactly as I am in the real world. So like who I am as a friend is the exact same person as who I am as a coach. Like it's the same. Number 4, people are ultimately drawn to real. The reason why reality TV is so popular these days, right? Like people just want to see your real life. They want to see the flaws. They want to see the imperfections. So like personally, you know, like I just woke up and got dressed. Like I haven't taken a shower yet today. Like that doesn't happen usually till later afternoon. I haven't done my hair yet. Like if I were to put pressure on myself that I need to show up a certain way in my business, that I need to do these things to look professional, like I would never show up. And this is what I tell my clients, is that if you are always waiting to like look perfect, or being real makes you so approachable. I love that. Thank you, Sue. Oh, I feel the same way about you. You are so real, and I know that your clients feel that about you. Yeah, you have such a warmth and just like a light that just like shines out of you. So if you put that pressure on yourself, like if I told myself that I need my hair like looking really nice and I need to have makeup on and have like nice clothes on, guess what? I would never be here for a Facebook Live, because it just wouldn't happen, right? Especially now with the baby and like my life in transition, like it just wouldn't happen. So what's better, right? Me showing up as myself, exactly as I am, or not showing up at all. And some people may say, yeah, but if you show up in sweatpants and your hair in a messy bun, that might turn people off, and people may not want to follow you or hire you. Well, guess what? If you're not showing up at all, there's no one to turn on at all, right? Like there's no one to turn off at all either. So then you're not like, let's say there's 20 people who show up to your Facebook Live, and because your hair is in a messy bun and you have sweats on, let's just say that out of the 20 people, 15 people are offended, they hate it, they leave, but 5 people like you, because 5 people think it's really cool that you're showing up as you are. Okay, so if you decide, you know what, I'm not ready, I'm not put together, so I'm not going to show up at all. If you don't show up at all, then you're not even going to have anyone like you as you are, right? So you're going from 5 people liking you, 15 people not liking you, to 0 people liking you or not liking you. So what's better? That's what I tell my people. So that's really like the gist of this article. I want you guys, I share a few pointers in here. One of them, I'll just go through them real quick. One is to ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen if you show up as yourself? Usually, like, again, like that scenario I went through, like that's the worst thing that could happen. Number 2, you never want to convince people to hire you or buy your products. Like, if people don't want to work with you, like, that's fine. You're not going to sit there and convince people. Like, that's just something that I don't do. Like, I tell people, I share people, like, with people, this is what I have to offer. And if this works for you, great. If it doesn't, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to convince you. And usually when you do try to push people and convince them, like, they're going to be less satisfied with your work together because they're going to feel disempowered and they're going to feel like you pushed them into it and it wasn't their decision. So if people want to hire you, they're going to hire you. There's no needing to convince. And this ties in with number 3, ditch the scripts and the formal sales conversations. And I know I've shared about this before, but again, when you own your own business, like, you're no longer in a 9-to-5. You don't have to interview. You don't have to make things a certain way. You can do whatever you want, okay? So when I have a sales conversation with people, it's just me asking them questions, like getting to know them, hearing where they're coming from, hearing what it is that they want to achieve in our work together. And if it sounds like it's something I can't help with, then I tell them, you know what, I think so-and-so is going to be a better fit for you. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to help you with this. If it is something I can help with, I'll tell them, yeah, I can help you with this, but this is up to you. Is this something that you're ready to start working on? Do you feel like I'm the right fit for you? And if so, we move ahead. So just keep this in mind as a takeaway. If you enter into relationships with a take it or leave it mindset, so take me as I am, or just leave me as I am, then the right people are going to show up and the right people will walk away. So there's no need to feel like you have to put on a show or like make things perfect or special. Like, all I'm saying is, in your business, make it simple. Keep it as simple as possible. Just show up as yourself, and that's it. All right, my dears, I hope that you take some time, you read the rest of the blog post. Let me know of your thoughts. I want to hear comments. If you guys disagree, if you agree, tell me everything. And yeah, thank you for sharing this morning for me. I can't believe I've been talking for about 45 minutes right now. Blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I feel like I could talk forever. It's the ENFJ in me, I guess. But anyways, have a great Wednesday, and thank you guys for sharing this morning with me. It was so special. Thank you guys for sharing the morning with baby girl too, especially during her little screaming match in the beginning. Pecha, thank you. Great to chat with you today. And Sue, thank you for being here. All of you guys who are here. I will see you guys next Wednesday. All right. Take care.